So this is day 6 of my French tour, and luckily the weather has broken today, so it's a lot cooler. Yeah, the temperatures are only about 15 degrees centigrade at the moment, and it's cloudy. So it should make today's ride, which will be about 150 kilometers and about 2,000 meters of climbing, a bit easier. In fact, it's a little bit misty and dreary out, and the forecast says there's a possibility of rain. I'm now at the highest point, or maybe the second highest point of today's ride, about 650 meters above sea level. And as you can see from the background, that mist has got a bit heavier. It's not quite drizzling, but there's quite a lot of dampness in the air. And my glasses are getting a little speckled with water droplets, which is making it difficult to see. But hopefully, as I descend down out of here, and I've got about a 30 kilometers of a sort of a sawtooth descent, hopefully I'll come out of this mist and things will warm up a bit. Oh, I should say it's only about 12 degrees centigrade up here, and the mist makes it feel quite cool as well. I'm about 35 kilometers into today's ride, and as you can see I'm descending. So I've descended out of that mist and fog and the slightly cooler weather. I think that my Garmin is currently saying it's about 16 degrees centigrade down here. So things have warmed up a bit and the rain has stopped and most of the mist has gone. So it's a lot more pleasant to ride in. It's just started raining properly. So I've stopped underneath these trees just to get a little bit of shelter. Although I must admit, the cooling effect of that rain is actually quite nice after the heat of the last few days. I've just joined one of these long distance cycle paths. This is the V93, and I'm not going to be on it for very long, just until I get to a place called Saint-Léonard-de-Noublay, which is, I think, in the Haute-Vienne. Now, Saint-Léonard-de-Noublay is interesting from cycling point of view because a French racing cyclist called Raymond Pouliot lived there for all his life. In fact, I think he died there in 2019. Now, he raced a lot in the 1960s and 70s, and he rode the Tour de France quite a lot, but unfortunately he never won it or wore the yellow jersey. That's because one of his contemporaries was Eddy Merckx, and Eddy tended to win everything. So poor old Raymond often came in second, and that's why one of his nicknames was the Eternal Second. Okay, my Garmin says I have to turn up right up here. Do I want to do it? Yeah, let's give it a go. Little bit of off-road excitement. Not sure where it goes. Hopefully it joins up to a road. Never mind, my Specialized Turbo Vadu should cope with this fairly well. Not sure if it's a cycle lane or what, but I'm following it anyway. There's a road, sort of a road anyway. There is a proper road ahead. So I think that may have just been a little bit of a cut through. Looks like I'm coming into Saint-Léonard-de-Noublay now. Not sure where I'm going. I'm going to go right here because it says Historic Centre. There is this old church, which, like many French churches, have history. Oops, I think I'm going the wrong way down a one-way street. At least I'm only going one way. Yeah, so there is the church. Now, it's a Sunday and I'm going to see if I can find somewhere open to get a drink, maybe have something to eat, and see if I can recharge my battery a bit. Like while I was in the cafe enjoying coffee, crepe, and getting my e-bike battery charged a bit, there was a little bit of a rain shower. I've also heard some thunder in the background, so I may get wet. In the hour that I was in the cafe, the battery was topped up by about 20%. For about the next 50 kilometres, I'll be following another long distance cycle route, the V56. And although this is going to be quite hilly, so not as flat as the V92, it should at least take me down some nice small roads like this one. Many of the roads in France, even a relatively large one like this, are much quieter than in the UK, which makes the cycling that much more pleasurable. I've just crossed through into a different department. That is the Creuse, named after the river. However, I still continue to benefit from these lovely roads. And also today, for the first time since I left Bilbao, I seem not to have a headwind. In fact, it says there's a tailwind of about 8 kilometers an hour now, although much of the time it's more of a crosswind rather than the tailwind. But hey, I'll take that. Things are getting a bit warmer now too. My Garmin's saying it's 20 degrees centigrade, which as far as I'm concerned is lovely and comfortable. I'm about 3/4 of the way into today's ride, and I've left that V56 long distance cycle track, but I'm still continuing to follow these small roads. And they're extremely quiet. Probably at the whole of today, I've perhaps had 30 cars pass me, and that's in about 5 hours. That's probably, oh, I don't know, a tenth of what I would get in the UK. And also many of the drivers are much more considerate to cyclists. Although, like everywhere, there are the occasional not so good ones. Oh look, there's a monument up there. It's going to delay me getting to my accommodation, but I've got to go and look at it. So here is that monument. So that's it, the end of day 6. I've made it to the village where I'm going to be staying, hopefully for the next couple of nights, because my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, who live in this lovely part of the country, have a house just up there. Anyway, that's the end of day 6. If you want to see day 7 or 8 or 9 or 10, actually there may not be a day 7 because I'll be here. If you want to see the other days, then please consider subscribing, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. In fact, even if you didn't enjoy this video, give it a like anyway. So from me until the next video, which might be a few days off, it's goodbye.